the world goes quiet in a single heartbeat. You wake up and something feels deeply wrong. New traffic comes outside your window this morning. No notifications, no voices, no distant sirens at all. You step outside and the street is empty. Every door is unlocked, every car abandoned mid-turn. You shout and only your own echo answers. Slowly, a terrifying thought begins forming in your mind. What if you are truly the last person? And what would actually happen to you next? The science of this scenario is stranger than fiction. Your survival depends on choices made in the first hours. At first, the silence feels almost peaceful. Then your brain registers something humans rarely experience: total social absence. Studies show isolation alters the brain within days. The amygdala becomes hypersensitive, hearing threats that are not there. You walk into a supermarket and nobody stops you. Shelves are full, but the clock is already ticking. Refrigerated food will spoil within 48 hours. The power grid, however, is your real countdown timer. Most power plants run on automated systems for now, but they need constant human supervision to keep running. Within hours, small faults begin appearing across the network. Nobody is there to reroute the load. Coal plants run out of fuel in days. Natural gas stations shut down on safety triggers. Nuclear plants enter automatic safe shutdown almost immediately. Their cooling systems can run on backup for a while. Within 1 week, the lights start going out. City by city, the modern world goes dark. You notice it first at night. The stars return, brighter than any human alive has seen. The Milky Way arches overhead in stunning clarity. Light pollution, the great eraser of stars, is gone. But darkness brings new problems you never considered. Street lights, traffic signals, security systems, all silent. You learn to move during daylight hours only. Night becomes a vast, listening wilderness. Then comes the smell. Pets locked inside homes need food and water urgently. Millions of dogs and cats are trapped behind doors. You open every one you can reach. The freed animals scatter into streets and parks. Within weeks, packs begin forming across the suburbs. Domestic dogs revert toward wilder behavior surprisingly fast. Generations of breeding loosen within a single season. Zoo animals face a harder fate without keepers. Some escape, others depend entirely on human care. Lions, tigers, and bears begin appearing in cities. Real ecological chaos starts reshaping the urban landscape. Meanwhile, nature is reclaiming the streets beneath you. Weeds crack through asphalt within the first month. Without mowing, lawns become meadows almost overnight. Within a year, saplings appear in parking lots. Rats and pigeons, long dependent on human waste, struggle. Their populations crash before rebalancing with new food sources. Coyotes, foxes, and deer move boldly into downtowns. The line between city and wilderness simply dissolves. You drive anywhere you want, on any road, but gasoline begins degrading after just a few months. Modern fuel separates and oxidizes within half a year. Soon, every car becomes a useless metal sculpture. Diesel lasts longer, maybe a year with stabilizers. Eventually, you walk or pedal everywhere you go. You raid libraries, museums, and abandoned bookstores freely. Knowledge becomes your most precious survival resource. You learn skills humans once knew instinctively: fire making, food preservation, hunting, gardening, basic medicine. The internet dies within days of the grid. Satellites stay in orbit but cannot route signals. Cell towers fall silent, then physically collapse over years. Communication, the great human invention, simply ends. You try shortwave radios, scanning every frequency carefully. Only static answers from every corner of Earth. But the science suggests you might not be alone. Statistically, scenarios this absolute almost never occur. Even global catastrophes leave scattered survivors in remote regions. The math of true singularity is staggeringly small. Still, in our thought experiment, you remain entirely alone. So what happens to your mind over time? Psychologists have studied extreme isolation in polar researchers. After months alone, perception itself begins shifting subtly. You start talking to objects, then naming them. You hear voices in wind, water, and rustling leaves. This is not madness, it is brain adaptation. Humans are wired so deeply for social connection. Some isolated explorers report a strange third presence. They feel someone walking beside them, watching gently. Scientists call it the third man factor reliably. Mountaineers, sailors, and astronauts have all described it. Your brain may invent company to keep you stable. Loneliness, it turns out, is genuinely dangerous to survive. Would you want to be alive to see this world? Tell me what you would do first below. Your answer says something profound about being human. Curiosity or community, which would you chase first? Now let us return to the empty earth, because the consequences keep escalating in unexpected ways. Nuclear plants eventually exhaust their backup cooling supplies. Some experience partial meltdowns over the following years. Radiation leaks remain mostly localized around the plants themselves. Wind and weather slowly disperse the contamination outward. You learn which regions to avoid on old maps. Most of Earth remains beautifully, achingly habitable. Dams without maintenance eventually fail under accumulated pressure. Rivers reshape themselves across forgotten human boundaries. Bridges rust, roofs collapse, and concrete crumbles steadily. Cities slowly transform into strange geometric forests. After 20 years, trees grow inside skyscrapers. After 50, vines swallow entire downtown districts whole. Chernobyl already shows us this process accelerated dramatically. Wildlife thrives where humans simply stopped existing. Wolves, lynx, and bison returned within a generation. Earth heals from human presence remarkably, surprisingly quickly. You witness something no human has ever seen. A planet actively recovering from civilization in real time. Coral reefs begin rebuilding without fishing nets dragging across them. Fish populations explode within just a few years. Whale songs travel farther through quieter, ship-free oceans. The deep sea recovers an ancient acoustic landscape. Bird populations rebound as pesticides finally fade away. Dawn choruses grow louder each passing spring. The atmosphere itself slowly begins to clear remarkably. Carbon emissions drop to nearly zero almost overnight. But carbon dioxide already released stays for centuries. Climate change continues its slow momentum regardless. You watch glaciers, knowing they will keep retreating. Sea levels continue rising for generations to come. Yet forests reclaim farmland, locking carbon back into soil. Earth begins balancing itself without human interference. You become the planet's only witness to this transformation, a single observer documenting an unrepeatable natural experiment. Your aging, however, follows ordinary human biology faithfully. Without medicine factories, you depend on what you stockpile. Antibiotics expire within years. Insulin requires careful refrigeration. Many modern medical miracles slowly become unavailable forever. You learn herbal medicine from preserved botanical books. Willow bark for fever, garlic for infections, honey for wounds. You exercise daily because injury becomes genuinely dangerous. A broken leg alone is no longer just inconvenient. You age, but maybe more slowly than expected. Clean air, no stress commute, no processed food. Some studies suggest stress shortens telomeres significantly over time. Perhaps your cells age in a different way. But the loneliness remains your hardest invisible burden. No conversation, no touch, no shared laughter ever again. You read messages everywhere, just in case someone reads them. Painted walls, carved trees, letters in glass bottles. You write books for readers who may never come. Your story becomes its own form of immortality. You climb monuments tourists once queued for hours to see. The Eiffel Tower belongs entirely to you alone. You stand inside the Sistine Chapel in perfect silence. Michelangelo painted it for an audience of one now. You walk the Great Wall completely undisturbed for weeks. Every wonder of the world becomes purely personal. Yet wonders feel different without anyone to share them. Beauty, you learn, multiplies when reflected through other eyes. This is the deepest scientific truth of your situation. Humans evolve as fundamentally collaborative, social creatures together. Our brains are literally shaped by other people's faces. We are not built to thrive in solitude. The thought experiment reveals something profound about our species. We are not just individuals living parallel lives separately. We are nodes in a vast living network together. Each conversation, each smile, weaves the human web tighter. Remove one node and that node feels broken. Remove every other node and the survivor barely remains human. So this story is not really about empty cities. It is about how much we need each other. The person beside you on the train matters more. The stranger who smiles at you on the sidewalk. The friend you have been meaning to call. The family member you keep promising to visit soon. In our real world, we are surrounded by miracles. 8 billion conscious minds, all thinking and dreaming together. The probability of any of us existing is staggeringly small. The probability of us existing together is mathematical magic. If this thought experiment moved you in any way, leave a comment telling me what you would miss most. And subscribe with the bell for more big what-ifs that change how you see your own world. Because the most impossible scenario is not being alone on Earth. It is being here right now with everyone else still here.